All right. Well, here we are yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Behind Gray Eyes. It is I, the one, the only C Dubs. And honestly, man, tonight I really want to talk about optimism, like glass half full, and role models, man. Like, I think that's really important. And given just the turbulence of life lately, like I'm kind of finding myself just going, like, man, like the world is so much different than it was when I was growing up. Like, what the is going on? And so, yeah, I've kind of been delving a little bit into that because, like, when you're trying to reconnect to something real, you know what I mean? Like, what's more real than your childhood? Let's be honest. And there's not good parts of childhood. There are not terrible parts of childhood, and there's some other parts that like those were the best or they were the worst of your times. And I think it's because, like, as a kid, you have no fucking clue which end is up. You have no idea. All you have to go off of are like vibes. You know what I mean? Like, and so with today's world just kind of like being completely different than it was growing up, I can remember it like that. Like and I guess that's kind of where some of these videos hit hard for me is, you got a lot of kids growing up who don't know what it's like to have the life that I had growing up. To give you like an idea, I'm 39 years old, right? I'm almost 40. So I was born pretty much in peak time of gaming as far as my own, in my opinion, actual gaming goes. There wasn't quite the spread of internet until I was about 14, 15, and that's whenever we had gotten internet at our house or whatever. But, like, kids won't understand what it's like to have that kind of a freedom. And so, like, it's funny, like, whenever I'm trying to readjust or if I'm trying to reset or if I'm trying to just make sure that I'm seeing the glasses half full, I'm reconnecting to my childhood because there's a few nuggets of wonderfulness in there. You know what I mean? And case in point, actually, like, I'm actually wearing the shirt. This is speaking of childhood and role models and all that. I'll be Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog has been my all-time favorite hero since I can fucking remember. I remember being in fourth grade. Yeah, holy shit. I was in fourth grade, and I beat the entirety of Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and I was working on Sonic 3, and then Sonic and Knuckles, and then life happened after that. I didn't get a chance to be able to finish those out. But I finished Sonic 1 and 2 back to back. Boom, 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 boom. And then you flash forward later whenever the Dreamcast happens, then you have Sonic Adventure come out, and Sonic was just the fucking man. Like, he was the epitome of everything that I wanted to be in life. And the reason why I say that is because Sonic was a good role model in my eyes. Like, he had the kind of cringe edginess, like it was like, I'm cool, but I've got dad jokes too, kind of a thing. And he was a very pure, very vibey guy. And it didn't matter what happened, he was always willing to step in and take charge of the situation, but not like fucking run people's lives either. And I don't know, like, Sonic has just always been the fucking man for me. Like, he runs fast, he doesn't have to. I like violence. Don't get me wrong. Especially in video games, like, there's something cathartic about it. But, like, what I liked about Sonic, as far as him just doing what it was dealt, like, he didn't have to get overly violent. He just pop, pop. He'd jump on your head a couple of times. If you didn't get the message, he'd chase your ass off. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, Sonic, it was just, I don't know. He was a role model for me, and going through, your stages in life, and as you're looking back, you always try to find someone to look up to. There's different stages, and different stages call for different faces, and so, yeah, your role models might change, but at least you're still trying to look up to somebody. Oh, man, sorry, I thought I had a sneeze there. But you're looking, everybody's wanting someone to look up to, and I think what a lot of kids nowadays are missing out on, if I'm to be completely fair, I'm just going to put the cards out on the fucking table. There's not a whole lot of heroes to root for nowadays. let's be fucking real, man. Like, you've got shit like the Justice League coming out. Don't get me wrong, I like the villains just as much as the next guy, but I was also a huge Batman nerd growing up, so I know a lot of the backstory to some of these things. I mean, the spin-offs, not so much. Like, there's so many reboots of everything happening, but I digress. Long story short is, I grew up with the comics. I read the comics. I love the comics. I know who Batman is. I know who Superman is. I know who Spider-Man is. But these kids coming into the world, they're getting the focus on, the tail end of the hero era and the rise of the supervillain era, and that is so fucking nuts to me. Like, there's not really that many quote-unquote good role models out just for simple consumption, man. Like just for case in point, like, video games were a plethora of awesome role models to look up to. You know what I mean? I just happened to pick Sonic as mine, but like, it's because Sonic was a stand-up dude. And I don't know, like, you look at that versus nowadays, and you've got the Joker pops up a lot. You've got all this weird shit happening in the fucking gaming community with the Justice League killing Batman and that whole fucking game just going down the shitter. I don't know. There's just a lot of values and properties that have been flip-flopped and turned on their head because there hasn't been an establishment of good role models for kids to look up to. We're in this weird, like, reality TV phase where everything that happens on a camera across the internet is spoken gospel, you know what I mean? And like, okay, now I need to be honest here, is like, I'm hoping that happens for me, you know what I mean? It's a very weird line to toe, because you have the virtual world and then you have the real world, and these two things don't really mix all that well, you know what I mean? But I think something that would help it mix rather well is if there were just more positive role models out there playing their part. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where I talked about at the beginning of the episode, is like glass half full. Like, I don't always, okay? I really wish I always, but I've always wanted to look at the glass as half full. And you'll hear it in my everyday speech. Like, hand to heart, heart to God. Like, I speak this shit as truth in my real day life. Is like, if you're doing things because you're trying to one up something or one up somebody, I don't know. Like, there's a competitive edge to it, but I feel like if it's done for the wrong reasons, it's not okay, man. I'm really chasing a lot of rabbits in my head right now, and I'm trying to figure out which one to go with. But oh yeah, the glass half full. Sorry, glass half full, and you'll hear it in my everyday life. Is like, I'm always like, another day in paradise, or I'm living the dream. Is because, like, you have to make sure that you are telling yourself that, because positive attitude, yes, is wonderful when it happens naturally, but also happiness is a choice. Happiness is an active fucking choice. Like, you can choose to look at everything that's going bad in your life and feel sorry for yourself and lay down and give up, and there's really nothing more to that story. Or if you choose to do so, you can take a good look at everything that's positive in your life. For instance, I'll go down the cuff of mine. I've got my job. I've got my daughter. I have a roof over my head. I have a shirt on my back. And I'm able to actually pay my bills. These are simple things. It's the simplest of things. But you know what's crazy? What's even crazier is some people out there don't even have that. And it could be for a number of reasons. But I'm a firm believer that, like, when you choose to live happy and you choose to make positive choices, you're gonna grow. Like, that's just the honest truth. Like, you can sit there and you can stick to doing the good thing, and just trying to be a positive vibe. You're not gonna succeed every day, right? We all have our bad days, and that's okay. If you're having a down day, boo-boo, don't trip. Just let it happen, Captain. But also be honest with people around you. Be like, yo, I'm having a rough day today. Can we just, like, take it one step at a time? And in my experience, people have listened. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get a couple douchebags here and there who kind of like flip you the bird, but yeah, I'm going to make your life fucking miserable. And you know what? Fuck those guys. But all in all, I would like to say that everybody can reciprocate that kind of a feeling, because we all have our bad days, but don't let it consume you. You know what I mean? Like, you come back in, or later that day, later that week, later that month, you come in full kicking, man, and you recognize what's important. And then whenever you find what's important, you focus in on that. And that's what I do to keep my glass half full as much as I possibly can. Like, if I'm ever having a rough day, like, literally all I got to do is just look at a couple pictures of my kid, think about what I want to do with her on my 2 days off, and then, like, everything's golden after that. Like, nothing else matters. And recently, I've been talking to a buddy of mine at work, and we're going to try and collab something in the future. But he's really been really fucking awesome. In fact, he watched my last podcast, and he said he said he's going to email me a whole list of things that he found that I could improve on. And I think feedback is another thing. I think a good role model should be able to take feedback from somebody, and then what you can do with that feedback is turn your glass even more full. You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of how you conduct yourself. It's a matter of how you accept accountability, accept responsibility, take on conflict. Like, these are all things that are part of having a good role model. And the role model, in my opinion, a good role model should always see the glass as half full. And we're going to loop it back around one more time. Growing up in this world that we have today, it's rough, bro. I'm an adult, and I'm trying to find things that my kid can watch and, like, grow from, and I just can't find any. Like, there's no positivity going on in the media realm whatsoever, which is fine by me. I'm okay with this, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to make her a veg head, but, like, it does make me cautious as to what to do and how to raise her, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to find good role models to, like, feed her into, and, like, I'm trying to be the small role model as her dad. Let's be fucking real. I need to be the best role model, because I didn't even have that growing up as a kid. Like, I'm just trying to do it the right fucking way, man. That's all I'm trying to do. And it all comes from, in my personal experience, like, I didn't have the best childhood growing up, but I had positive role models. Case in point, you got Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog. There's Maverick from Top Gun. Hands down, my idol. The dude was just crisp, calm, and cool. And I remember watching him when I was just a mere little cub, you know what I mean? I remember watching him and the way he flew the jet planes and everything, and he had, like, a swag to him, bro. It was like, I was like, Maverick, boom. Sonic, boom. And these are guys that get shit done. They have a flair to them, but they keep it humble to the same degree. You know what I mean? Like, there's humility, man. Fuck, that's the key component right there. It's just humility. And, like, I'm not the king of humble by any way, shape, or form. Like, because we all have ways that we can improve, but, like, humility really does play a big part in how I see things, because, like, just point blank in it, you never know what you can learn from somebody on a whim, and you're gonna really turn that off if you're just cocky and arrogant all the time, if you let your ego get in the way. But if you stay humble and you respect that somebody out there can teach you something, you're going to teach somebody else in return, and then that's something you can grow on. You know what I mean? Like, it's not taking anything or anyone for granted. And again, this just goes into just being a positive role model. I keep going back to it, and, like, I'll keep hammering on, like, Sonic did the same thing. Like, he was point blank with all his friends, but, like, he trusted him too. You know what I mean? Like, he did what he did. He did it with flair. He flexed on a fool, but, like, you did it. You guys get as much credit, if not more than me. And there's just, I don't know. It kind of feeds back into the old reset video or Behind Gray Eyes, about the reset rather, where I was sitting there and I was talking about being the weakest link and being the strongest link and all that. It's just how I believe, man. It's just really how I fucking believe. And that's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing here on the interwebs. Do I have any business here? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to find out. I can tell you that much. And I'm trying to just do my best to kind of take away from all the negativity and the noise out there. Because with, as I said before, you have reality and then you have the interwebs and the virtual world. They don't clash. Well, that's the honest to God's truth. But just because they don't clash doesn't mean they can't mix. And some people will get caught up in whatever they read online, or get caught up in, this virtual realm that doesn't really have any strong place in reality, especially when you're doing a job or you're talking to certain people about certain things. Like, you have to be there 110%. And this will add to your humility. You know what I mean? This will add to the fact that, like, you can't let certain things in your head get to you to the point where you just become so closed-minded that you shut everybody else off. Because then you start looking at the glass as half empty. It's crazy how this all, like, coincides. But, like, your perspective really matters when it's coming to what kind of mood you want to regulate. And I'm a firm believer in that. Like, if I'm having a really shit day, I will recognize really quick that I'm having a shit day. I don't know how to fix it, like, 100% of the time, but you start looking for the root of the problem. You start looking for the root of the problem. You eliminate that problem. You change your mood. You become happier. Glasses half full. You're optimistic. You're putting out a good example for people to follow. And the next thing you know, things are just going your way. And you know why? It's because you chose to be happy. I mean, like, I don't mean to oversimplify it or say it's that easy, because we all know it's not that easy. It's something that you have to take conscious control of and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy at all costs. God damn it. Maybe not that extreme, but yeah, man. Like, when it comes down to it, like, I like being a happy, energetic, go-lucky guy. I like believing people. I like believing in people. I like trusting people. I like understanding that, like, hey, man, we're all just here to kind of do what we got to do and just do it to the best of our ability. And if you can vibe like that, that kind of thing attracts people. Like, that kind of an energy attracts people. And the next thing you know, you've got not like just one person sitting there bebopping along. Next thing you know, you got two more people who come up, and we're all bebopping along now. And then all of a sudden, you got like 7 more motherfuckers come up. And then, we got a block party going on. Because why? One of us was feeling good and chose to have happiness. And it's infectious. So we'll see where this goes. You know what I mean? Like, long story short, and I hope... This is one thing I was talking to my buddy about, is this episode, let's be fucking real. All of my content is straight up off the cuff. I don't think about any of it really. I just put the headphones on. I'm like, yep, that's the topic I'm going to go with, and we off. And then from there, it's just chasing rabbits. Like, thank God for ADHD. Like, I'm not properly diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I got it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That said, man, like, I feel amazing right now. Like, this is like, I'm trying to do a good thing and put change out in the world, and just really just try to focus on this broadcast dream. But like, it feels really good cathartically to be able to get these thoughts out of my head and expressed into a form of media that I can actually interact with. You know what I mean? I have control over this. Like, this is all me, and it's really wonderful. Really, it is. Like, I can't stress enough, man. Like, it's just I'm vibing with a whole new energy as of late, and I'm just trying to be the change. You know what I mean? Like, you can talk about being change, or you can be the change. And so, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this message kind of like resonates somewhere. Like, I was trying to go and do a TLDR, and I chased a rabbit. But let's try it again. Just be optimistic and understand that, like, the reason why you're unhappy is there's an underlying problem. It's at the very foundation of why you're feeling the way you're feeling. You eliminate that problem, boop, all of a sudden you're optimistic. You start seeing the glass is half full. People start, vibing with that, and then you're putting out a good example for other people and their kids to look up to, and the next thing you know, doors are opening. And like I said, it's not to oversimplify it, but when you understand what you're doing and what it takes, I think it's pretty powerful, man. And I'm just going to call it there. I think 20 minutes is a good, clean time. That said, thank you guys for watching. My name is C Dubs, and this has been Behind Gray Eyes.